Hi everybody, welcome back. Again, there's been a little bit of a downtime between videos because quite frankly that skincare video was just a beast to edit and I'm still somewhat recovering from the editing trauma. I'm gonna have to get better at editing videos. But I wanted to go ahead and come back with a little bit of an update for you guys. So I was planning on doing my Project Pan updates on kind of a quarterly basis, but to help kind of set for accountability of myself, as well as because I was seeing some progress on some products, I wanted to go ahead and change my Project Pan updates to every other month. So I did the intro in January, so March I'm going to give you my first update on my Project Pan. So let's jump right into the items. I've separated them into kind of 4 different categories. I don't know if you just saw Timmy leap through. The first category is products that I've been using a lot and am seeing progress on. The second category is products that I've been using decently on and off, but could do better with. The third category is products I have yet to really use, but that I do see myself using, or that I'm still sure I will make some progress on. And then the fourth category is products that are kind of on the chopping block, or products that might actually be replaced out of my Project Pan. So let's start with the first category, the best category. And that's products that I have seen some progress on and that I'm really just kind of working through at a nice steady pace. So the first product is the JOAH Truly Yours Dark Circle Concealer. Again, JOAH is a brand that's available at CVS. And the reason why this was in my Project Pan was just because it's kind of bulky and not super purse travel friendly. So I did have to take the sponge off this because something was starting to smell a little weird, and I do think it was the sponge. But I am kind of monitoring this, and if it does start to smell off, then obviously it will be leaving the Project Pan for the trash. But so far so good. I did make a little mark probably about mid-February on kind of where I was product-wise, and I've actually since about halved that, so maybe another 2 months and I see this product being done. So unless, again, the product starts to smell off again, or I start to detect, a change in formulation on the product, we're, rocking and rolling on that. Second product in the I'm doing well category is the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish Natural in Light. Again, this is such a good powder for just like everyday wear. It's not heavy, it's not cakey, I really like this one, and this one I will probably repurchase once I do use it up. Again, it's just older packaging, so it needed to be used up, but I will absolutely repurchase this when I finish it. Third is the Holika Good Cera Lip Oil Stick. I've been keeping this actually on my makeup desk, so that way whenever I'm sitting there doing skincare or anything, I can just slap it on. And I'm already down probably about a ½ inch into the tube. Hopefully that kind of focused a little bit. So I'm definitely seeing a good dent in that. I'm also seeing a little bit of like a lip imprint. So still doing good on that. That is really getting used up at a nice pace. I was a little worried because it did look like there was a lot of product in there, but I'm doing really well with it. Fourth is the MAC Shape and Sculpt powder in Accentuate and Sculpt. One is a highlight, one is a contour. I've been using them for a while and I feel like I'm so close to hitting pan. I just haven't yet, and it's driving me nuts because I feel like I have to be so close. But again, I use this not necessarily every day, but more often than not. And I do see a nice little dip in both powders. I did have to scrape away a little bit of hard pan on the contour shade, so I am kind of keeping an eye on that. And if it just completely seals over, we'll see if I can still pan the highlighter portion. But again, I feel like I have to be so close to hitting pan, and I can't wait to just see that little bit of sliver come through. I feel like it has to be right there. So I'm really glad with how I'm doing on that. Fifth is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Lip Gloss and Everything. This did make it into my January favorites video. Again, I really love this. It's just a super natural kind of nude, a little bit plum, a little bit brown, a little bit pink color that just goes with everything, and it's absolutely my can just slap on, go anywhere lip gloss. Really, really like it. I'm going to have no problem finishing this off whatsoever. Next, I'm going to do the 2 blushes. So I have a Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in Party. I am wearing this a lot. This is, again, pretty much an everyday. It's a nice kind of nude color. I am seeing some progress in that the design on the pan is starting to disappear, so that's exciting. I've also been wearing it a lot in conjunction with the Benefit Bella Bamba blush, which is that kind of like peachy pinky shimmery blush. I've been wearing them both either by themselves or even using them together, using the Tarte one on the base and then using the Benefit as a blush topper, and they actually work really, really nice together. So these have been great. I like having two different colors in there, that way I'm not getting overly sick of one color, but I'm kind of figuring out some new ways to wear them in conjunction, which I really like. I wasn't expecting that. So really enjoying those still. The Milani Brow Wax Stick, I've had to sharpen at least a couple times, so slowly but surely making my way through that. Again, once it gets to the point where I can't sharpen it without like losing it into the sharpener, you know, once it gets to that point, there's no point in me keeping it around, because if I can't sharpen it to use it, I'm not going to be using it. So once it gets to the point where I kind of start to lose it in the sharpener, I'll be considering this done. But definitely a little bit of progress made. And the last product that I really have in my like I've been using it a lot category are the two eyebrow powders. So this was a Sephora eyebrow palette kit thing that had two eyebrow powders and a brow wax. I went through the brow wax a long time ago, and then the compact broke, so I depotted the two powders and have been using those since. And it's like I'm determined to use these up. So I will use these until they either crumble or until I use up the entire thing. I have officially hit pan on both of them. So kind of hold them up there, so hopefully, I don't know if that's going to focus on the product or focus on my hand. There we go. So you can see pan on both of them. When I did my first intro, I had hit pan on the darker one already, but then at the very beginning of February, I did start to see the tiniest little sliver of pan in this one as well. So again, doing great on these. Significant pan showing in both powders, which I'm really happy with. So then on to the, I've used it a few times but could definitely do better. So the first one in that category is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Foundation in Nude. I really like this foundation, and the reason why it's in my project pan is because it does look like they're phasing it out and discontinuing it in favor of the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. And every time I use this, I do get a little sad because I'm reminded as to why I like it so much, but I don't want to have it and then, you know, not be able to get it again. So I'm working on kind of saying my goodbyes to it. So I have been using it fairly decently. You can see the tube is definitely a lot thinner than it was, but I could definitely probably use it more often. But it's so hard because I do get a little bit of like sad feelings every time I use this one. But I'm working on it, so slowly but surely. Then I have the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Zero. I've sharpened this a couple times. I've actually been using this a lot lately, just smudged along my top lash line. I had gotten into a phase where I really was like obsessing over liquid liner and had kind of thrown my pencil liner to the side. And then lately I've kind of been renewing my love for this. So I've had to sharpen it a couple times just to keep it sharp enough that I can really smudge it out. So I've had to sharpen it a couple times, so it is a little bit smaller, but again, I'm sure I can use it more. So still working on that one, slowly but surely. Speaking of liquid liner, the liquid liner that I had in here was the Smashbox Always On liquid liner, and it's just getting a little bit old, so time to use it up and start a new one. I used this a ton in January and a few times at the beginning of early February as I dropped the pen pencil liquid thing. And then I kind of went on a little break from liquid liner, but I know I'll come back to it. You know, black liquid liner is something that I know I use, you know, whenever I perform. It's always part of my stage makeup, or even when I do, you know, more dramatic makeup anyway. So I know I'll come back to it. It's just, you know, I'm having a little moment with the pencil liner, but still doing good. I'm debating actually weighing this to see kind of in a month or in 2 months how much I use up, how much the weight decreases on the product. So I may give that a try and see what information that gives me, because it's really hard to judge, you know, a pencil, or not a pencil liner, a liquid liner. You know, it's not like I can sharpen it like a pencil liner, and I can't exactly see through the tube to see how much progress I'm making until it really starts to like stutter out, you know, start to spit and sputter liquid liner on my hand or on my eye. So I may weigh it and see what information that gives me. Next up is the let's do this one. So next is the Sephora eyeshadow single in Aspen Summit. It's just a shimmery icy white. I've been using this fairly consistently on and off, but not super heavily. I'm sure I could use it as a highlighter as well, which may be something that I start to do, is trying to figure out more ways to multi-purpose the product. because I'm using it, but I'm using it on like my inner corner and like as my brow bone highlight, and I'm just finding I'm not going through a lot of the product very quickly. That I'm not seeing, you know, a huge amount of progress in the pan or anything. So I may try and figure out more ways to use this so that way I can see a little bit more progress, but I am using it. The kind of last one in this category is the Merchant of Gallifrey lip gloss in the Crimson Horror. And the reason actually why this isn't in my products I'm using a lot and seeing a lot of progress on category is because I forgot that I had this in my purse for about 3 weeks. And it kind of lived in my purse, and when I remembered it was there I would use it, but other than that it wasn't. It was like out of sight, out of mind. So I have made a little bit of progress on it in that the entire thing is now down below the little lip of the jar, but I'm not seeing as much progress as I probably would have had I not put it in my purse and forgot about it. So I'm going to definitely do better on this one in the next couple months, assuming the same thing doesn't happen, so I'm going to try and make a real mental note not to do that. Because I do think I would have seen a lot more progress on this had I not left it in my purse. So the next category is products that I haven't really used yet, but that I can see myself using, or I feel like I'm just waiting for that right moment to use. And there are 3 products in that category. The first one is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation stick. I haven't used this a lot. I think I may have used it once, but I also haven't been doing like heavy makeup. You know, I've mainly been playing with, you know, eyeshadows. I've done a little bit of light powder foundation, you know, like the Mineralize Skinfinish, or even, you know, a light liquid foundation like the NYX. I haven't really done like anything where I needed to take a foundation stick with me to make sure that I can touch up. But I am going to Las Vegas towards the end of the month, so I will be taking this with me, and I'm hoping to get some use out of it there. So I'm hoping to see some progress on it, you know, by the next update. Kind of the same thing with the Tarteist lip paint and birthday suit. It's a really nude lip, and I haven't done a lot of nude lips because usually my favorite look to do nude lip with is like a really dark black smoky eye, which is just my favorite look in general. So I usually wear a really nude lip with that. So again, same thing, I'm going to take this to Vegas. I'm planning on doing that a bunch of times there, you know, as well as some kind of super glammy stuff because we are going to see Cher, which I'm super excited about, but I'm planning to get some use out of that there. And the last product in the third category is the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipstick in Chai. I'm not sure why I haven't reached for this actually. I did test the color. I do like the color. I'm actually wearing it today. I think actually because the tube is so small, I think it kind of got lost in my like project pan drawer. So I think I just kind of kept looking right past it. So I'm going to make more of a concerted effort to use this one now that I kind of am like, hey, yeah, it's there. I like it. I just haven't used it. So the last category is products that I'm actually thinking of phasing out of my project pan and replacing. So products that are kind of on the chopping block, I'm giving them essentially one more chance. And they're products that either I just have not been reaching for or I'm just not excited to use for one reason or another. So the first product in that category is the Sephora Smoothing Base Foundation Primer. And I've noticed this in the drawer, I've looked at it, and then I've just kind of gone, nah, a bunch. So I'm just finding I'm not excited to use this one, and I think it's because it's a really, like, very silicone-y primer, and I'm just finding I'm not really reaching for the really silicone, dimethicone heavy primers as much as I was, you know, a few years ago. Now that I've started taking better care of my skin, I'm finding I'm not having as much oiliness so much as I just have uneven texture. So that the silicone kind of can sometimes cake up on drier patches of my skin, and I'm just kind of not liking it. So I'm gonna give it kind of till the end of this month, and then if I haven't used it, I think I'm gonna replace it with a different primer. I actually already have the primer picked out that I think I might replace this one with, but I'm gonna give it till the end of the month. So you've got till the end of March to prove me wrong and prove that I like you. So, and then the other product in that category is the NARS Multiple Stick in Orgasm. I like the color. I like the idea of the product. I think what I'm not liking about it is I'm not liking, it's not working the way I had intended to use it. And I think it's because there is some of that glitter in there, and it is, you know, a little bit darker color. It's more of a blushy color. Whereas I was hoping to use it as like an everyday highlight that I could just swipe on and it would work. I did apply it with a sponge and had better results, so I am going to play with this a little bit more. It didn't immediately kind of earn its redemption by doing that, but it earned itself, I think, a few more tries. But if this doesn't, I can't get this to work as like a nice everyday highlighter, I think I'll be, you know, pitching this and putting something else in its place. It is older, so it is possible that the formulation may have changed a little bit because of its age, so taking that into consideration, it's kind of on the chopping block as well. So that is my update on my 19 products for my 2019 19 and 19 Project Pan. If you are doing a Project Pan, list your items below, or list any items that you're having any real progress with, or products that are frustrating you. Apparently none of my furry helpers wanted to assist in today's video. I don't know if they're sick of seeing my Project Pan items. I'm actually surprised I'm not. I'm having a lot of luck and enjoying a lot of them so far. Only a couple of them are misbehaving or have to earn their way back into my heart. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. So my next Project Pan update will probably be about midway through May, again taking into that bi-monthly consideration, just for accountability purposes, because I know if I'm filming it, I have to make sure that I'm using the products. I may update you here or there, you know, as products might move their way into my favorites for each month. Speaking of which, my February favorites is coming up right after this, so be ready for that. I will see you guys in that video. Bye!